Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Courage to Change, a recovery podcast. My name is Ashley Lowe-Blassingame, and I am your host. Today we have Sarah Scheper. Sarah is an Orange County, California native and grew up in the community of Coto de Caza. You know, like Real Housewives Coto. She knew from a young age that she wanted to become a realtor, so she started studying and started her career in real estate during high school, assisting a top agent in her neighborhood with anything she needed, from getting her coffee to running comparative analysis reports. As soon as Sarah finished college, she was off and running. She quickly excelled in selling homes to first home buyers all over Orange County. Soon after, she began listing and selling homes fast and for more money than her clients ever expected. Sarah now lives in LA and has expanded her successful real estate business across Southern California. She's the managing director of Homegevity Realty, who prides themselves on some of the best technology out there in the industry. A huge accomplishment for Sarah was being selected as an ambassador for Inman News, the largest real estate network, and speaking about social media marketing in front of thousands of people in San Francisco. Her favorite quote is from Maya Angelou: "People will forget what you say and what you do, but they'll never forget the way you make them feel." Sarah loves to give back to young women who wish to better their lives. She is passionate in helping other women overcome obstacles they may face in their lives that may be blocking them from reaching their full potential. She recently was on the VH1 reality TV show Love and Listings. She is celebrating 9 years of sobriety and is an awesome and beautiful woman inside and out. She's hysterical and shares the real truth of what it looks like to be in Hollywood, have an eating disorder, and be in recovery. I highly encourage you to stick around and check out episode with Sarah Scheper. All right, episode 20. Let's do this. Sarah, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
You are a busy lady, and I appreciate you coming into the studio.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
So a lot has been going on in your life.
Yes.
Since I last hung out, since we last hung out.
Yeah, we were like buddies back in the day.
Oh my gosh,
right?
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's been a long time because your life has gotten so big.
Yes,
because you got sober.
Yes, at a young age too.
Yeah.
So
How old were you when you got sober?
I was in college like my junior year, so I had just turned like 21.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's when I had to stop drinking when I was allowed to drink.
Yeah, you finally allowed, and they're like, no.
Yeah.
Wait, so I know you went to treatment for an eating disorder and alcoholism.
Yeah, before I went to treatment for the alcohol, I grew up in a very perfect, like white picket fence, everything's good. I had no idea that what alcoholism was.
Yeah.
I never really saw.
You grew up where? Like in
Coto.
In Orange County. With the Real Housewives.
And so, before I really looked at the alcohol, my parents were just like, okay, go to treatment for the eating disorder, because
What eating disorder did you have?
I struggled with bulimia mostly, like anorexia a little bit, but mostly bulimia.
And how did they find out that you were doing that?
Well, when I was in high school, I was a cheerleader, and I think it was before my senior year, I got so skinny that it was just obvious.
Yeah,
it was like something was going on. Like my teachers knew.
Okay.
I mean, I thought no one knew. It was my secret. I was so ashamed. But everyone knew, because it was how do you, I was skin and bones. I figured it out how to do it to where it was it was easy. I could just eat whatever I wanted and get rid of it. And I got really, really skinny. It was bad. I would I would pass out in malls or anywhere just because I had no nutrients in my body.
Yeah.
So
did you feel we live, right? So now you're on television, you're in reality TV, in a show, you're a realtor in a luxury Los Angeles market and in Orange County. You grew up in Orange County in Coto. So all of this stuff, I mean, it was almost it was going to be tough to avoid an eating disorder, body dysmorphia. I mean, it was you were kind of set up for it. But so what were some of the beliefs you had about why you needed to be skinny and what doing that, like how did that start? What was the thinking?
Well, I think that I remember like being really young, like seriously like 4 years old, and like I was in gymnastics and ballet, and like I remember looking at other girls and being like, they're so skinny. I've always had like a curvier, like more
sexy, beautiful body.
Well,
yes.
Well, but like, I just remember like I
didn't look like them.
Yeah, I was just like, I was like getting boobs when I was younger, and I was just watching the movie Now and Then, and the girl like tapes her boobs.
Yes.
That was like me. I was like so embarrassed. I was like, no, why is this happening? Yeah. And like, I wanted to be like so skinny. I thought that was like the answer. And so just like all throughout I remember being so young and like being obsessed with like, I need to be skinny, and like that just wasn't my body type.
Yeah.
So, and like, thank you to, I guess, the Kardashians for making it more like, now it's like hot to be like, have more meat on you, which is awesome. But
thank God.
Yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, so like, I just thought that in order for me to feel okay and be happy, like I needed to be so skinny. And like, the funny part is like I did get so skinny and I was miserable. Like it was the worst. Like I was crazy. I was miserable. I remember thinking like, oh, I'll get this guy if I get so skinny. Like, I didn't. Because like, it's just like I wasn't present. Like God was nowhere to be found. It was like all about food, what I was eating. Like there were years where like I literally don't even remember. Like, because I was just so in it. Like, I wasn't there. People would tell me looking back, like you had like a fog in your eyes. Like we would talk to you and it was like not talking to a person. It was like talking to a wall. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. I wasn't there.
Yeah, that makes
crazy.
Sense. I feel like for me that my first addiction was, that my first disorder, my first addiction, my first struggle was with food and body image and all of that. And then when that stopped working or while that stopped working, that was when drugs and alcohol was like, this is much easier than the food stuff.
Like I remember my freshman year of high school, I was always like battling with the food and with my body. And I remember like, I need some sort of relief. Like this is driving me nuts. Yeah. Like all I'm doing is thinking about myself and like, just, it was awful. So I remember like, I was like by myself. My brother was around, but I remember just going in my parents' cabinet and I found tequila and I just that was my first drink. I just downed tequila.
How old were you?
Probably like 15, 14, 15. I downed the tequila, blacked out. Like it was a mess.
Right.
And I remember waking up and being like, oh my God, that was so horrible. Like, I don't know what happened. But then I was like, God, I kind of can't wait to do that again. Cause like, I wasn't thinking about my body for like a freaking minute. Like,
Yeah. It takes like a little bit of the pressure off.
Yeah.
I was like, the up and downs with the weight and the looks and all that. And then you would use or get drunk and I didn't have to worry about it because I, A, wasn't hungry and B, it like gave me, that sense of calm. That relief that I was looking for that from my head, like the loud talking at me in my head that was, whatever, my disordered brain.
Yes. Yeah. And I remember like, I tried drinking like a few times and then, it was just like bad from the start. Like I would just always black out. So then I was like, okay, that doesn't work. So then I just really I remember like, I think it was like my junior year of high school. I was like, I'm going to check out bulimia and this is it. This is the answer. I'm doing it full. Like, and I was that's the one, I guess I could say good thing about like addicts and alcoholics is like when we have a goal or like when we want something,
for sure.
there is literally nothing that comes in your way. Like I will get whatever I want.
Right.
If it's like, but then I've learned like, okay, that's definitely not God's will.
Right.
Like that's not what God wanted for me. But so like I had that goal and I got that. And I thought walking in my senior year, I was like, all eyes on me, got attention from guys, and I was so skinny, and like I finally thought I got what I wanted, and I was like, that was like the worst place I was ever in. I was miserable. Yeah. I felt like a fraud. People are like, oh my God, you look so great. What are you doing? And I'm like, I suck. Like I'm a fraud. I'm eating and throwing up, and it's like so embarrassing. But don't ask me what to do.
It's like attention on your disease.
Yeah.
Right? Because they can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I remember like my senior year, it was like getting pretty miserable. So then that's when I tried to start drinking again because I thought I could maybe manage it because I could just throw up the alcohol if I drink too much.
Right.
And it was easy.
Totally.
So
go back to the
that
party.
actually worked for a while, and I felt like Superwoman because I wasn't getting hungover. Like I could eat whatever I wanted, I could drink whatever I wanted, and I wasn't blacking out as much because I somehow controlled it. And then college time was coming around, and I was like, get me out of the state. So I went to Colorado, and it just got really bad really quick there. Like I didn't have a long drinking period. It was like probably like, I guess maybe like 4 years, but it got bad really fast. Like
the first time you drank, you blacked out.
Yeah.
So like 4 years for someone who drinks like that's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, because at the end of it, and I even on my show, I do say it, like I blew a 0.48 and like,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was like, I was constantly in hospitals, but like junior year of college, I was like in and out of hospitals all the time from my drinking. And that's when my parents were like, what is going on? Like I was going to die. Like there was because like, I think with the drinking and the eating disorder, it was like I would drink so much. I had no food in my system.
Right.
My body, like my blood was just all alcohol. And I remember being in the hospitals and they were like, what does she do? Like they would put me in like psych wards because they were like, this girl's trying to kill herself. Oh,
yeah. Me
and
too.
And
it was like, no, I'm just partying. Like,
I was like, no, I don't want to die. But but I did, like I think it was like
we
a
didn't
call
realize.
for help. Yeah. It was like when you're doing that, like, and I do remember at the end of it, I was like, I don't really care if I live or die. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah,
like,
whatever
I've had
happens,
a good run.
happens. I've had a good 21.
Not a really great run, but it was just kind of like, I was killing myself. Like, and I had actually never tried a drug. I was too scared. But like alcohol was the way I drank. It was literally like putting a drug in my vein. And it
does the same. I mean, the fact that the funny thing is people like to separate drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
It changes, it alters you from the neck up. One happens to be legal and the other isn't. And that is about the difference. Like it's a legal intoxication. It's intoxicating you.
I mean, I've heard like eating disorders do kill like more people. Like when I was even in treatment, a girl I was in treatment with, I loved her so much. She died of a heart attack, anorexia, so quick. Yeah. And even like when I was in treatment with alcohol, I remember them sitting us down in a room. It was all women's rehab. It was like 30 of us girls. And they're like, one of you guys will stay sober. And to be honest,
you were like
literally within a year I got out of treatment, I think 3 or 4 girls died. Dead, gone. Like that quick.
Same.
And then to this day, I keep in contact with a few people, but like, and like they didn't think I was going to be the one to stay
totally.
They were like, this girl, because I remember they were like, you have to stay longer. And I like freaked out. And it was crazy. But and I can't believe it, honestly. I'm like, what? But like, I'm so grateful. I'm just like, every day I'm just like, wow, it's another day. Like I don't have to go through life drinking or using food to deal with feelings. Like I feel my feelings now. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's hard.
It's hard. Especially, I'm like, let's think of another good idea. Let's move to LA and do a reality show. Okay.
No feelings there. Yeah. No,
I mean, that was a wild trip. I was like, what am I doing?
But so you come from a real estate family,
yes,
right?
My dad's been in real estate forever. He's amazing. And he's actually never drank, but he is not an alcoholic or anything.
He is hysterical.
He's so funny. He just like,
when he comes on your Instagram, I'm just like, who is this
amazing.
Man? He is so funny.
And that was the thing. It was so, like, I felt so guilty because I'm like, how is this happening to me? I have the best parents. They're so supportive. They're amazing. They raised me so great. And like, but I do know like alcoholism does run in my family. Like I think my grandma never drank, my dad's mom, because her mom was an alcoholic.
Right.
And so my grandma told my dad, don't you ever drink, like don't be a follower, be a leader. And I guess my dad listened. Like he told me that stuff, but I did not. I was like, I'm sorry, I need to drink.
I need some anesthesia, please.
Yeah. But But yeah, he's been in real estate for like 38 years, a broker. He does loans, but he also like, that's like why I do feel really lucky. Like the real estate business is really tough, but I've had his like direction. And the thing was, I mean, when I first got into it, he was like, I don't know if that's a good idea because he knows how hard it is.
Yeah.
But I knew that I got sober and I stayed sober. So I was like, I can do anything. And I did not pass that test the first time. It took me so many times, but I was like, I didn't get sober the first time either. It took me a few tries.
Totally.
So I was like, I've always applied like my sobriety and what I went through to like my business.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing. Like it's really helped. And yeah, I just like at the end of the day, I'm like, just be of service to your clients, like show up and help them. And that's like been key for me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Just to show up for it's amazing. All the principles that we learned, like, they work.
Yeah.
They work in life. And it's that handbook and that guide for life that we didn't have before that caused us all of that anxiety. And also we have feelings that we have to work through. And sometimes that's hard. Now you went into real estate and you've done very, very well and pursued your passion, which is so cool. And you ended up leaving Orange County to take on more Los Angeles market, which is cool. And in that time, in your 20s, and I sort of was a bystander for this, you were because you do luxury real estate and you know, ambitious and a part of these really glamorous parties and scenes, like you were, you know, were limos and all the glam that goes along with drinking.
Yeah.
And you have stayed sober through probably some of the most attractive drinking. Because my drinking had no glamour, okay? It had no glamour. And so when I see glamorous drinking, I'm like, oh, that's what people do. Like, that's normal. Like, people like, oh, it's they use a cup, you know, a glass. Like,
I know.
who
That's
knew?
weird.
Yeah, right? And so
I would just put like vodka in a water bottle and just call it a day and walk around town.
Exactly. I'm like, wow, there's like a special glass for a special alcohol.
I don't know any
or,
of that.
like all of that stuff. But you were around that. And I would have, for me, as my alcoholic head would have told me day in, day out, like, you need to be a part of, you know, all the glamour, blah, blah, blah. How did you do that for so long?
I think that like in my like early sobriety, when I first tried to get sober, I had so many like slip ups and relapses that like at the end of it, I was just like, okay, if I'm going to actually like live life and have like somewhat of a life, and if I want to be successful, like I cannot consume alcohol. Alcohol is literally like poison. Like I'm allergic.
Yeah.
It's not like I cannot drink it. Like, and also I had to look at it and it was like, I would never want to just have a glass of wine. That sounds horrible. Like that sounds like the worst time of my life. Like for
me, like one bite of Snickers or something.
Yeah. So it was just like, I just know that. But like the first year I was sober, I couldn't be around alcohol. I couldn't look at it. It made me sick. And then the only time I worked the program, I had to get a spiritual relief and solution and like find contact with God again. I've always thought like when I was in college, it was like God was on a shelf and I was like, hey, what's up? When I need you, like get me out of this freaking psych ward, like or get me out of this like situation, like help me. Then I would like pull God off the shelf. But like in sobriety, it's like I have to have God with me 24/7. Like every day it's, you know, they say like you're sober, like it's contingent on your spiritual maintenance. Like literally every day I'm having to be in contact with my higher power and like be thinking of other people, trying to help other people, getting outside of myself. And so I think like, I didn't really like go around alcohol the first year, but then once I had that spiritual relief and I have contact with God every day and I am constantly, I have to work the hardest at my sobriety. Like at the end of the day, I'll have nothing if I don't have this. I'll be dead. I will, and I know that. Like there's no chance.
So there were not moments of like
no, honestly,
really,
it's crazy.
Wow.
And this is just
That's
my
cool.
story.
No, totally.
Yeah, no. I mean, once I had that worked the program and like I worked really hard on my inner self, like myself, my steps, all that stuff. This is just my experience. I seriously don't ever crave alcohol. Don't think about it. Don't want it. I can be around people wasted. I like actually getting my friends drunk. I think it's so funny. I'm like, come on, keep drinking, because it's like funny to me.
Yeah.
I mean, not like if anything bad happens, but like most of my friends like that are not, sober, like they don't have problems.
Yeah.
And they're just pretty funny. But yeah, like that's been my experience.
That's
like
super cool.
Yeah. And I've been sober for almost 9 years. And so I'd say probably 8.5 or probably like 8 years of that, the obsession's just lifted, removed, gone by, like, don't think about it. But that doesn't mean like throughout my journey of sobriety, like I was still throwing up in my early sobriety.
Yeah.
I struggled with that. And I would, try to stop, but it was so hard. Like I just couldn't let it go. So I would get, some time and then have a slip up here and there. But when I finally moved to LA, I remember moving there and like I was really successful in real estate in Orange County. And on the show I say like, oh yeah, I went to rehab. And the true story is like I had gotten sober. I worked at a treatment center, like kind of giving back, helping girls while I was figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. And during that time I got my real estate license. And during that time, the vaping and the e-cigarettes was huge. So all those guys were making so much money. And I was the sober girl to sell them houses. And then also it's like in real estate, it's like, who's your sphere of influence? Like, and the cool thing is like being sober, alcoholics are really successful people.
Yeah.
So the people I've been around that are sober, a lot of them end up making a ton of money, become very successful when they stay sober. So it's like those are the kind of people I've associated with. And so I've been able to like kind of work with some of those people to help them buy and sell real estate. But when I moved to LA, I had done really well, made a lot of money, but then I was so in my eating disorder, I was literally going to lose it all. Like I was about to go broke. I was like, and my parents they're like, we're not helping you out, figure it out or move back home with us. And I'm like, no, it's not happening. So I kind of had to like hit my knees in sobriety. And I was like, shit, like, and also like I was going to die. Like it's a gnarly eating disorder, especially the one I had. It wasn't like cute. It wasn't, it was scary. I could have definitely had a heart attack or, it wasn't good. So I remember like getting on my knees and be like, God, please help me. Please, please, please. I need help. Like, I just need help. And when I do that, like I get direction from my higher power, and OA in LA is amazing.
Yeah.
And so I started going there. I got a really good sponsor. She's so hard on me, but it's what I needed because I'm such a little like brat. I'll just like manipulate stuff to like, get my way or whatever, like get out of stuff. But she was so hard on me and like kept me accountable. And yeah, with her, we never talked about food. I don't talk about food.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not about the food. I was like, what? I was like, you don't want me to send you lists of stuff that I eat? And like, because for me, that really didn't really work because it was like, it's not about the food. It's about the feelings and like, about my relationship with God and me trusting God and having faith in, something greater than myself, and stop controlling it. Stop trying to run the show. Yeah. Obviously, I suck at that.
Well, I mean, sometimes you're
I guess, but like
in this area.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Peter Loeb, CEO and co-founder of Lion Rock Recovery. We're proud to sponsor The Courage to Change, and I hope you find that it's an inspiration. I was inspired to start Lion Rock after my sister lost her own struggle with drugs and alcohol back in 2010. Because we provide care online by live video, Lion Rock clients can get help from the privacy of home. We offer flexible schedules that fit our clients' busy lives. And of course, we're licensed and accredited, and we accept most private health insurance. You can find out more about us at lionrockrecovery.com or call us for a free consultation, no commitment, at 800-258-6550. Thank you.
So I had very similar experience in terms of, eating disorder, OA, the whole shebang. And for me, I had a really hard time when I heard people talk about God when I came in, and I was like, wait, seriously, this is okay. Like, have we just walked into a church club? Like, what's happening here? This is a bad idea. That's not, how the hell is that going to solve my problem? Like all those thoughts. Did you struggle with, or did it come easily to you?
No, it didn't. I mean, I grew up like Catholic school, private school, all that stuff. But I remember like when I had gotten sober, I was pissed at God. I was so angry.
But you believed.
I believed in like something up, you know, like I was like, there's got to be something, obviously, because I am still alive. Like something's up there, like watching out for me. But I was pissed. Like I would just be like, F you, God. Why, God, did you have me struggle with alcohol and on top of it, an eating disorder? That's not fair. Just like, let me have one. Jeez. But yeah, so like I just sort of, I don't know. In the beginning, I was pretty angry, but when I did the steps, especially that third step, I wrote out like what I thought God was, and I kind of thought God was like judgmental and angry and hated me and like wanted me to suffer. And then I wrote the list of like what I want my God and like higher power to be, and that's like loving, accepting, like wants the best for me, and I've had to learn throughout my sobriety, because I definitely wanted a Santa Claus God, my sponsor calls it. Like I was like, I want everything like perfect and great, and it's like, no, that's not the way like life is, and like even throughout my sobriety, like I've had some challenging times in my business. It's not always perfect. I'm not always making tons of money, and my sponsor would tell me like, maybe God doesn't want you to have all that money right now. Like, accept it. And she's also like pointed out, like, what if you did have a bunch of money, you went on a trip somewhere and the plane crashed? Like, you don't know what's best for you. Stop trying to play God. Stop trying to control it. Like, you don't know. And that's been like a real eye opener for me, because I'm like, oh no, I got sober. I deserve to have this huge life. Right. I should have so much money. I should have so much. It's like, no, sometimes like, right now in my life, I'm not balling out of control, but it's like, that's what God's plan is for me. Right. Maybe I need to humble myself and work harder. And, you know, there's some things I need to like look at. Like I need to stop and like listen. And, you know, I really tried this past year. I've been really into like meditation. That's really helped me like feel and hear, like, I mean, call it whatever you want, God, higher power, like, universe, source.
Something other than ourselves.
Yeah. So I've been like really trying to, you know, sit with stuff, and even going through this reality show experience, like it was tough sometimes. Like you're around people that are not nice to you, that want to bring you down, and like.
What? So talk about that. What was that like?
Well, I mean, it was tough. Like,
because people think, you know, again, you have a very public persona, life, whatever, and it looks glamorous.
Oh, of course it looks great. Instagram's bullshit.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
But I mean, it looks great, right? And then you're on TV and all this stuff, right? So like, what's that like, especially as a sober woman and with eating disorder and what's going on behind the scenes?
I know for me, like I thought this was going to be my secret to the grave. I am never telling one soul that I had an eating disorder. And so for me to actually be able to be open about it is like insane. Like that's not, but I was getting back to like, I think I was telling you when I got on my knees in LA, I was like almost going to go broke. I had just moved there. So I started going to OA. I had to. And like literally, I think on my 90 days, I got like a big deal. And then I got this opportunity for the show. And like, that's what kept me from like going back to the eating disorder, is like so many good things were lining up. And I knew the second I go back and like start throwing up or stop eating or whatever, it's gone. Yeah. It's going to be gone. And this would have never happened for me. I know that in my like gut and soul, like this show and whatever, like it would not be there. Even like staying sober, cool. But like if I were still in my eating disorder, there's no way.
Yeah. Because it's, for me, and I don't know if you relate to this, but for me, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
It is,
like my alcoholism and my eating disorder, they like to, you know, interchange and they're very involved with one another, them, you know, and they pop up together and, you know, it's like whack-a-mole.
Yeah. I was listening. I love podcasts. So I found this like spiritual lady podcast that I listened to, and she was saying like, it's a hole in the soul. So like we try to fill it with all these other things. Like I can even do shopping, boys, like whatever, anything you give me. And I'm like more.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's just a hole in the soul, and you got to fill that with God and higher power, and you know, just that's the only thing that works.
How do you do that in reality TV, luxury real estate? Like, how do you do it?
Well, first of all, like I do luxury real estate, but I also help people leasing, buying $400,000, you know, whatever. I'll do anything. Like I really do, like makes me feel good to like help people, because especially with my dad's background and like all the knowledge that we have together, I know that I'm doing a good job for my clients. So like I just love that part of it, like being able, I mean, homes are like very sentimental to me.
Yeah.
I love homes and helping people find that dream home. And like, that's where they're going to have their amazing life and family and all that. So that's, you know, I'll do all of it. But yeah, so sorry, back to your question.
Like how in the environment that you are in and like reality world and all of that. Like, how did you manage? What was that like?
I had to get on my knees every single morning before filming. I would be like, God, please just whatever you want me to say, have it come out. Whatever you want me to do, have me do. Because like it was a lot. Like you're put in situations with people like that will test you. They'll say mean things. Like, luckily, I haven't gotten like Twitter bashed or anything yet.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm like, holy crap. Like, I was expecting it because I feel like, you know, when you're on a reality show, like people are going to just tear you down. They love that.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, I think because I've just been like honest and like just been like, you know, this is me, whatever. And like real about it. Like people are really liking me.
They relate. Yeah, they relate to that.
I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. So like I haven't had that yet, but yeah, like I think for, what I was saying, the alcoholic is childish, emotionally sensitive, and grandiose.
Yep.
So it's like those things can affect me a lot more than other people. Other people can be like, whatever, screw that. But for me, I'll like internalize and think like, oh my God, wait, why are they saying that? Wait, how am I, you know? And it's like, no, just stop. You filmed it. It's done.
Yeah.
Whatever God had to happen is happening. And like, it's actually been a really big growth for me doing this because I really had to lean and trust God. And like, before it's come out, I was like, oh God, I'm so scared. Like, da-da. And like, God's like, I got you, girl. Like, you're fine. Stop worrying. Like, it's fine. Like, and that's how it's been, you know, like so far. We're only 3 in, so let's see how the rest of it goes. Oh, shit. But yeah, so far it's been good. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, like there is one scene where like I pushed a girl, which is like so embarrassing. I'm like, why did I do that? But my dad reminded me like I was sober and I was at a Rascal Flatts concert and some girl like flipped my dad off. And I guess that's what I do. I like black out and I push people. So it's like, oops, I guess I should learn and work on that. But in this situation, it was like, I'm not around people that are aggressive and yelling all the time. Like that's not my life today. Like I'm around awesome, sober people that are trying to better their lives, that are like, you know, positive. And so there's someone on the show that like, God bless her, but like, you know, she's angry and she was saying mean things about me and she always calls me fake. I'm like, I don't think I'm fake, but geez, like, I mean, I'm the one telling everyone I freaking have an eating disorder on TV and shit. I can't get more real than that. Come on.
Yeah. But, you're like, come on.
But yeah,
seriously.
like the situation, it was like at my house and it was just like, I didn't know what to do. I thought she was going to like hit me. I was like, I just had to get her away from me in that situation. So, you know, looking back.
I think it's kind of badass, but maybe I'm not spiritually fit.
Yeah, if you watch the show, I mean, you might understand a little bit. Like, you know, I don't wish anything bad on anyone in the cast and like, especially her. Like it's cool because I can look back and just be like, you know, I have sympathy. Like, I get it. Like, she's probably like going through something and like, I just need to pray for her. I do 4 steps. Like it's hard though. Cause I'm like, oh man, like, I don't want this girl to treat me like that. Like I'm victim, whatever. But it's like, no, like look at your part. I pissed her off to get to that point, you know, like we all have a part in it. Granted, you're on a reality show. Things are hyped up. Like you need to, you know, be entertaining, whatever. But like, in my real life, have I pushed anyone? No. But like, you know, in that situation, it's like, oh, well. But, you know, I can learn from it and like see it and just be like, all right, what can I do next time differently? Like, I've also had to learn because I'm such a people pleaser. I'm like, oh, I want everyone to like me. I want to get along with everyone. This girl doesn't like me. I maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. And that's okay. That's okay. Right. That's how God wants it. That's how God wants it. God does not want this girl to like me, and I need to be okay with that. And my whole life, I was like, oh, I need to be so popular and have everyone like me. And sometimes that's not how the world is, and that's not what God's plan was. Yeah. So I've had to really learn through this experience, like, how to be okay with somebody really not liking me, you know? There's something about me that maybe she sees in herself, or maybe I don't know.
Or triggers.
doesn't like me, and it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to be around her. I don't have to, like, I've learned, like, I was like, oh, I need to go to all these cast events. Like, no, it doesn't make me feel good to get my eyes rolled at or like mean comments. I'm not going to put myself around that. I don't have to today. I'm loving myself. I've learned to love myself through my sobriety. And if that doesn't make me feel good, I don't have to engage or be around it. I want to be around positive people.
That's a huge thing to that I want to point out, which is that something that, you know, I talk a lot about with my sponsor and my sponsees, which is like, are we doing things that make us feel good? Like, do I, you know, sometimes I forget that that's kind of what that life isn't all about, you know, like struggle. Like that it's not supposed to all be like grinded out and that like I don't have to put myself in those situations.
Yeah, and it's hard because like I do like we have a great cast. There's, you know, awesome people. It's a very diverse, cool cast, and they have, you know, parties, and I had to take a step back and be like, you know what, is this going to be good for me? Like, I'm excited. I'm on TV. It's going to be so fun. But do I want to be around someone that's going to want to maybe tear me down? And I could be just making this up, but like my gut and my assumptions are she's probably going to make some comments, not be kind. So instead, I got a hotel at freaking Monarch and had all my like closest best friends who support and love me, and I had the best time. It was awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, and I can do that today. I don't have to people please. I don't have to, you know, if something's going to make me uncomfortable, and that's the greatest part of being sober. If you do get uncomfortable in drinking situations, I can leave. I'm sober. I can drive home.
Right.
Like, I don't have to be around that stuff. I don't have to be around somebody like treating me like crap today. Yeah. And I just have to, it's like hard. I have to like be loving and tolerance towards all, you know, like part of me, like I'm a Scorpio, so I'm like, oh, revenge. But it's like, no, stop. Like, you just have to like take a step back. Just work on yourself, like keep your side of the street clean, you know. I apologize for the push and stuff like that. And I did mean that, you know, like I felt bad. I didn't want to hurt someone. I don't, you know, I try my best to like never like talk negative or like, you know, hurt other people. And so I just, you know, got to keep my side of the street clean and like keep it moving and hang out with people who like support me and aren't going to tear me down, because I don't have to, I can choose who my friends are. I can choose what I want to be around today, which is amazing.
Yeah, because I think a lot of us believe that we have to be friends with the people, like if we have a lot of history with them, we're like, well, I've been friends with them for 20 years, so I have to be friends, you know? It's like, well, no, I know. You know,
that was hard for me because like, I have a lot of love for this girl. Like, we started this whole process together. I wanted to get along with her. I want to be like, I want to, you know, like, and I have a lot of like love and compassion for her. Like, on the show, like her mom's gone through addiction. And so it's like, I want to be there and be like, hey, like whatever you need. But like, she just doesn't like me. And I have to be like, okay with that. Yeah. You know, she doesn't want my support and love. She doesn't want to be friends with me. And
for a people pleaser, that's hard.
Yeah, but that's the way, because I would call my sponsor and be like, what? I just want to get along. I don't want any drama. And she's like, Sarah, stop. God doesn't want her to like you right now. God doesn't want, or he or she, whatever. God does not want this situation to be good or like at peace. It's just the way it is, and it's okay. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay.
It is?
All right.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
You know?
So it sounds like you do a lot of inner work and a lot regular. Do you do therapy as well?
No. I mean, I'd love to, but it's like, it's a lot of money. And like, I honestly get like, which, you know, I would totally invest in, but like, I get direction and help and like strength and like all that stuff for free. Yeah. from the program. And just like, just.
How often do you go to meetings?
A lot. I mean, right now it's like I don't really want to go to them, but I'm like, yeah, you better get your ass in. Like, right. It doesn't matter. I need to be around it because sometimes I go and I'm like, oh, this is annoying. People are complaining, but it's like I need to be reminded of like what I was like and how bad it gets and like what happens if you relapse or if you go out. And so, you know, I try to go to probably like 2 or 3 or 4, you know, as many as I can. And if I'm not, then I'm listening to podcasts and I'm reading. I recently picked up I was kind of going through, a little down point a couple months ago. And I was like, God, speak to me. Like, what do you want me to read or see or do? And when you do that, it's like God immediately will just tell you, for me, my experience. So then I picked up it was like right in front of me, it was the Gabby Bernstein, like 40 days. And I love Gabby Bernstein. Like, she's sober and she had an eating disorder, and she like is all about manifesting and like positivity and like love. And so I picked up her book, and it was crazy because it was like a 40-day thing. And literally from that date, it was like 40 days till my show aired. I was like, holy crap, that's crazy. So I did that every day, and that was cool because it was like prayers and meditating every day. And it really, it was a really helpful tool for me, because it was just like, I need that. Like, I need the,
connection.
And like they have good prayers, and like she goes into all different things. Like, she has a food section, relationships, money, like spirituality, like everything. So that was like I just did that recently, and that's been because my sponsor has me. I call her every night. I check in. I say, I'm sober, I'm abstinent, and I did prayer and meditation today. And she has me read something, a spiritual reading every day. So that's not the big book. That's not any like AA literature. It's a spiritual book. So that's been actually a really cool like tool and really helpful for me, because that grows my relationship with God or my higher power. So like every day I'm reading, I literally have like 500 million books, but I try to read something spiritual every single day. And so that's really helped me like stay, centered and like stay sober.
Yeah. For me, the higher power thing and the spirituality was really a struggle. Like I really struggled with it, and finding books about manifesting and spirituality and all that. And just because I'm good at like school, I'm good at academic studying. And so I put that to work and just started reading a lot of books on spirituality and different types of spirituality and different types of beliefs and manifesting and all this. And that helped me put together some sort of, higher power that could work for me.
Yeah.
And it was through like all of the reading stuff that really changed my outlook, because by myself, I couldn't really imagine much. Yeah. And so it's been really cool to have there's so much good stuff out there.
Yeah.
What's the spiritual podcast that you listened to?
Oh, I
listened to one, Sahara Rose.
Ooh. Well, I got this app that is a meditation app. And then from that, I found this lady that I liked. So the meditation app is called, hold on, is it?
Insight Timer?
Yeah, it's Insight Timer.
Yeah.
So from that, I love Oprah, so I've listened to Oprah's podcast all the time. She's amazing. But let's see. So, this lady's like very, very meditation-y. But like, I like it. Her name's Tara Brach. It's TaraBrach. And she does talk about like addiction and stuff like that. And like, I don't know, some of the stuff she talks about is like super helpful. I also, Gabby Bernstein has some stuff, so I listen to her sometimes. Yeah, Super Soul. I don't know, I have a bunch of them. Of course, The Courage to Change. Awesome podcast. So I do like podcasts a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah, and then a really good tool for the eating disorder, they have an OA podcast. So they have speakers. Yep. And that was like, because there were times like before I got abstinent, like I was like, I'm not going to meetings, screw that. But I would listen and I would hear it. And I was like, oh, man, I need that.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, cool, can we call it something else? Because like that's the unsexiest name ever.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I know. Even like Bulimia Anonymous would have felt better. Well, maybe not.
Yeah. Anything. So what is ahead of you? Like what's next for you? Where do you see yourself? What are you manifesting these days?
Oh gosh, yeah, I am a big manifester. Like I do vision boards, and that was one of the things when I had moved to LA, I had put it out there. I was like, I want to do TV. That sounds fun. So I do definitely like, I'm into manifesting. I think you have to like kind of align it with like God's will for you too, though, because sometimes I look back and I'm like, did I really want a reality show?
Yeah.
But no, I think it'll be fine. Like I'm hoping at the end of the day, like it would be awesome just to like help another girl, like or guy, like struggling with this stuff, like. Because I remember for me, like I thought I was alone, and I remember this girl on American Kate McPherson, I think, on American Idol. She like talked about having bulimia, and I was like, oh my God, somebody else has it. Like my secret. Oh, but like it really helped me like be like, okay, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So if I could do that for someone, that would be like the best thing ever. But yeah, so what I have going on in the future, I think my dad and I are going to do a YouTube channel, The ABCs of Real Estate, because he wrote a book, The ABCs of Self-Improvement. He's always like Mr. Motivation, like, you know.
Yep.
So we made some videos just to like help people, because I get hit up on Instagram like on like hourly, like, how do I get into real estate? How do I sell? Like, what do I do? And the cool thing is like, I've had a lot of people reach out to me, and some like sober girls too, that have gotten into real estate and become really successful. And I guess like they kind of saw me do my thing, and they're like, I want to do that. And like, I was like, you can do it, go for it. And they've done really well. So that's been like, that's a really big blessing, like for me. That feels really good. And then, so yeah, I think I'm going to start that YouTube, like kind of help people like get more info about real estate. I still sell in Orange County. I live in LA, but like I come back and forth. I stay with my parents, whatever. Like I know every single city and like street basically from San Clemente to Huntington. Like I've sold in every city in Orange County. So like I still sell tons in Orange County. And then I sell, you know, in LA, I joined like the #1 team, Aaron Kerman with Compass. So, and they actually have a show coming out on, everybody has a freaking show in LA. Yeah. That's why I knew, like, I'm like, if I want to move to LA, I better figure out a way to get a show. Otherwise, that's how we do it in LA. But yeah. And then,
so what you joined Aaron.
Yeah.
And so when did that happen?
It happened like pretty recently. Like I had moved up there knowing him, and I knew I always wanted to work with him. We're really good friends, and he's amazing. He's just such a good guy, and like he's so good at what he does. So, and then I work, you know, my dad and I work together here too. So it's awesome having both people that have been in the industry forever with that advice, and like, yeah, having that knowledge behind me is just like huge. So, I mean, I just want to definitely keep like helping people buy and sell real estate. Like I just need to keep hustling, working hard for my clients. And that's kind of what I'm looking at in the future. I think I'm starting to think about like maybe like figuring out like getting a serious boyfriend and getting married or something.
Are you
I've been having too much fun in LA.
Oh yeah. Are you single?
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know. Oh,
it's complicated.
I'm like dating for sure. Like dating.
Okay.
But like, yeah, when I moved to LA, I did not want a relationship. I was just kind of like, I'm going to do my thing, work hard, real estate, TV, real estate, you know.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, crap. I think it's like, because
your clock started ticking.
I guess.
Yeah,
like,
that's what happens. I know.
Really?
I know.
That's so annoying.
It really is. It really is.
I guess there's so much technology nowadays. Like, I think I can wait. I don't know. But yeah, no, I definitely do think it's like kind of time to maybe meet someone.
Yeah, and like you want to put that out there.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to get ready. I wasn't ready before. I was just kind of having fun, like meeting a lot of people, fun people. LA is like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, I think I want to just date like a regular guy and like, you know, just normal, like smart guy, like good guy. I just want a good guy. I just want like a good, I mean, I've dated a lot of really great guys, but you know, I don't think I want somebody in that entertainment industry. I've dated some and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like only one person can be selfing themselves all day. Like, that's going to be me. Like, I don't want my boyfriend to do that and, like, have pictures of himself all over Instagram and fans. Ugh, no thank you.
Yeah. That'll be so, well, if anybody is listening to this podcast, Sarah is looking for the love of her life.
A great guy.
A great guy. Yeah. Great guy.
Have a good heart. Be a good person. That's really
You'd think that would be easy.
Yeah, not really. I don't know. I mean, I've definitely dated some really nice, good people. Like all my boyfriends in the past were really nice guys, but I just kind of like was like, I want to do something else and like went in a different
I'll
direction.
tell you a story that'll either make you happy or scared.
Oh God.
That I did the same thing for
really?
like moved to LA, was like, I'm gonna have fun, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then I went to Spain for a summer and went to school there, and then when on my way back I was like, I'm ready. Like I'm ready for a relationship. Like I'm ready to do that. And I got back, let's see, and then within I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks, Dak and I went on our first date.
Oh my gosh. And you were young though when you were
23.
Holy crap.
We just celebrated 10 years together.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just telling you, I like literally was like, okay, I'm ready. And I actually told one of the guys that I was, just hanging around with, whatever, hanger on. Yeah. And I was like, look, I'm out on this. Yeah. Like I'm ready for, and like literally. And I did not. If you had told me that I was going to marry Dak, I would have peed my pants laughing.
You guys are so cute.
I would have peed my pants laughing. I think I said no. He asked me out like 7 times. I said no. I was like, absolutely
See, that's how
not.
it should be, though. Like, it always works out when the guys, like, chase you.
Well, the thing was, no one had ever said no to him, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I have a guy like that right now, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I called my best friend at the time, and I was like, you will never believe who asked me out.
Funny.
And I was like, I would never go out with him. So I had to call her after I went out with him and be like,
oh, shoot.
I went out with Dak.
Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. It was so funny. But, yeah, so careful what you wish for.
I know. I'm like, I say that, but then I'm like, wait, I take it back. Wait, no, maybe, I don't know.
The good news is it's like it'll happen in its right time, and it'll be perfect for you.
You're
you know?
Right. Yeah.
It'll be like the perfect situation for you.
Yeah.
It's just about kind of all the stuff you were talking about, being open to like thinking about all of the different ways that you can be of service and you can absorb and you can see opportunities and like get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Because that's me, right? I got to get out of my own way.
I know. I want to like control it and I can't. I just got to let God do it.
Oh my God.
But I do need a couple nannies if I have kids. I mean, that like seems like a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. I work full time, so
I know that's like being a mom is a freaking full-time job. Like
I'm just
if I want to do that, like I got to make sure. I don't know, man.
One thing at a time. Find the dude first.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I know.
And people always say, like, I always tell people, don't have children at the right time with the wrong person. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Seriously. I know you're so lucky you have like such an awesome, supportive husband. That's awesome.
Yeah. He
I think that's been like a thing for me too. Like I've seen my parents, like they have a really great relationship. So I just haven't really settled. I'm like, I've dated some really great guys, but I'm like, I don't know. It's like my dad and I are so close, and I see how he treats my mom, and like I just won't put up with that crap. Like you see a lot of like kind of jerky guys in LA or whatever or anywhere. I'm just like, I'd rather be alone. I have fun with myself. I got a dog. Like we chill, we cuddle, like and like I'm pretty happy. So no drama. Like I don't have to deal with any of that. So it's kind of cool.
It's very Scorpio of you.
Yeah, I know.
No, it is. I really think that like the rights, it comes along when you're ready.
Yeah.
And it's very unexpected.
Yeah.
Is my experience.
Yeah.
I was like, this?
Well, I know, like,
really?
with addicts and alcoholics, too, like, sometimes people can be like, I can't be alone. I have to be with someone.
Yeah.
That's my distraction. And I think I had done that in my early sobriety, and I had boyfriends that I didn't really like, but I was like, I just don't want to be alone. And so when I moved to LA, I was like, you know what? I got to figure out, like, I got to learn how to, like, be by myself and love it. And, like, but it's like, oh, crap. I think I love it too much. I'm like, I've been single for a long time. Like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's true. Because that's what I did 2 years, like not dating and no like serious relationships. And then you're like, well, I don't want to get back in, know, but so it's like you learn to love yourself in that time alone and then having to learn how to
because a guy,
share.
A husband, a boyfriend, it's not going to fix it. It's not going to suddenly make you happy and everything's like, no, it's probably going to be like more drama, right? I don't know, sometimes.
It's just different, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's good to have like a partner.
It's like, I mean, this is a terrible comparison. I'm going to get in so much trouble for saying this, but it's like having a dog, right? It's like... Yeah, it's more drama, but you love your dog.
I know.
And, and if you wrote down on a piece of paper, I always say, like, if you took a piece of paper and you wrote down, like, all the reasons to have kids, like, what you love about having kids, and you wrote down pros and cons, the cons list is very long, but the pros list is great.
Yeah.
But if you wrote it down, it looks like the worst decision ever, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's not until you experience it. It's the same with your dog. Like if you wrote down like why to have a dog?
I literally couldn't live my life without my dog now.
Right,
like,
but if you wrote down a pros and cons list on getting a dog, the pros would be like, he loves me unconditionally. Yeah. He runs and sees me when he's home. And then it would be like vet bills, poop, blah, 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 blah. Like all the cons. And you'd be like, oh, great. Like he loves me. My dog says hi to me when I get home. Like but when you're in that, it's like the best thing in the world. And it's so worth it. But you can't explain that if you haven't experienced it. Like it doesn't, it's one of those like leap of faith things. Yeah. So I think that's what's probably ahead.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I think so. We'll see.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Did you have the prayer that you wanted to share?
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, it's one of the things from, this is just something I was literally.
We can close out with it?
Yeah. I was like, it was from my 40-day book and like, I don't know.
Who's the author again?
Gabby Bernstein.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I really like her. Besides reading, like I usually do that page 86 and stuff. I try to. It's like they help you, that prayer, you know?
Yeah.
With, just trying to do God's will. But I was reading this. So it just says, today I surrender my plans, my will, and my fears to the care of my inner guide. I accept that there is a greater plan for me than what my small mind may have had in store. Today, I welcome the voice of love to come forward and guide me, teach me, and lead me to a happier state of mind so I can bring more light to the world. So I love that prayer because it's like, it's so true. Like every day I try to like ask God or my inner guide, like, what's your will for me? Like, what do you want me to do or say? In my screensaver, back of my phone, it says, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom?
There you go.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, because I know like if I stay sober and abstinent, like I'm just such a better person and like I can have a bigger light to like
spread,
be there for other people or like make someone else smile or make their day. I don't know. Like it's like a ripple effect. Like somebody did that for me. Yeah. So I want to like give back as much as I can. Like at the end of the day, to come back with like, I was angry at God. I'm so grateful to God that I'm an alcoholic and I struggled with an eating disorder because it is the biggest gift I've ever been given. Like when you are able to get through that, like, that makes me want to cry because it's just like when you go through that big of a struggle, like at an early age and in life, and like, granted, people have been through way worse things than me and have a total excuse to be drinking. Like I had a great life. Like I have no excuse, but like it just is the way that my brain is. It's the way that I was born, I guess. And so, yeah, to like be going through stuff where you're like literally like, I don't care if I live or die. And then you survive. Like we're like survivors, you know, like it wasn't easy. Like I joke and laugh a lot, like even on my show, but it was painful. It was hard, like going through that stuff. And so to be able to like get through that. And like, at the end of the day, like I love real estate. I love helping people, but my purpose is like to hold another girl's hand and be like, hey, guess what? Like I stopped throwing up. I stopped drinking. Like I don't want to kill myself today. Like I love myself. And like, that's the biggest gift. Sorry, getting all emotional, but it's like, I've learned throughout these years, like I love myself. I don't want to hurt myself. Like I don't want to be mean to myself anymore. I was so mean to myself. I tell myself, like, you suck. Like, you can't do this. Like, you're fat. You're ugly. Like, it was so awful. And so it's like today, I don't tell myself that anymore. Like, I think I'm like a good person. And like, I just want to like be able to, you know, have somebody like my purpose in life is like, I want to see another girl that hates themselves, that's like doing things to hurt themselves, that's struggling like with addiction. I want to see them stay sober and get all of their dreams and like have an amazing life. And I want to see them say like, I love myself. And I've seen that with a few girls. And like, that's at the end of the day, like that's a bigger high than any drink, any, you know, eating disorder, like any of that. Like, it's literally the best, even higher than closing a big deal. Like that is the best feeling in the world. Like you had a part in like changing someone's life. Like who can say that? Yeah. Only like people that have been through it, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. Awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And
of course.
I will put, where can people find information about you or any of your stuff?
Oh, yeah. Well, I have like my real estate website. It's just www.sarahscheper. It's SarahScheper.com. It's like my real estate website. But I also have a real estate Instagram page, which is my name, Sarah Scheper _homegevity. It's HOMEGEVITY. And then let's see. I don't know. I mean, my regular Instagram is just my name, Sarah Scheper.
And the show, what's the information about the show?
It airs on VH1 at 10 o'clock our time, Pacific time. Yeah, on Monday nights.
Okay.
So
and it's called Love and Listings.
Yeah, Love and Listings. So that's VH1, and then I'll probably do like a YouTube channel soon.
Oh yeah.
So
TBD.
Yeah, that, and then. Trying to think if there's anything. I don't know. Pretty much, call me if you want to buy or sell real estate. I'd love to help you. I'll make you laugh and smile too. Just kidding.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
The Courage to Change, a recovery podcast, would like to thank our sponsor, Lion Rock Recovery, for their support. Lion Rock Recovery provides online substance abuse counseling where you can get help from the privacy of your own home. For more information, visit www.lionrockrecovery.com/podcast. Subscribe and join our podcast community to hear amazing stories of courage and transformation. We are so grateful to our listeners and hope that you will engage with us. Please email us comments, questions, anything you want to share with us, how this podcast has affected you. Our email address is podcast@lionrockrecovery.com. We want to hear from you.